Have you ever thought about using trading bots? I used Bitsgap in the last bull market and turned $1,000 into $50,000 within a 5-month period. I documented the whole process and put it in a playlist if you want to see that, along with other training videos and tutorials how to set bots up and make the most of the volatility of the crypto market. If you sign up with a link in the description, you'll get a 7 days free trial with no obligation to continue, and you can also use a demo account within Bitsgap so you don't have to risk your own capital. Bitsgap! Hello everybody, welcome back to the morning video of Monday. So the beginning of the week. Let's have a look on the 4 hourly for Bitcoin to begin with. So we've pulled back into this 50 exponential, so far so good. With a move to bounce basically up to 37,650, basically a Bollinger Band center, which is not too far from the top of this range, the range that we really do need to desperately break above and hold above if you want to see the next leg up, which in my opinion is getting ready for the last leg up, but I'm still more than optimistic. I am expecting the next leg up anyway. If we do continue to pull back down again, we front run this Bollinger Band on the daily here, basically more or less on today's candle body, really 37,000 flat, we'll call it, with a 21 exponential sitting down below it, which has caught it quite nicely before, 36,566. Look, if all of these areas get lost, which they can, we might not immediately see this dip get bought, then there's so many areas where we can buy a dip from, 50 exponential being a major one. We've not seen that retested yet. That's sitting around 34,300, and then back down to the bottom of the range. But to be fair, the 33,000 flat zone is also a horizontal of significance, but I'm not going to be putting in lines after lines after lines. I still think it's a dip buyer's market, and the dip buying market is probably better to be bought within altcoins. Ethereum more or less got the same setup as Bitcoin here, really, so I think the strength on Ethereum, or should I say the resilience on Ethereum, bodes well for buying into or buying back altcoins that you're particularly interested in, the ones with the good setups. So let's have a look over here. Dixie is actually, looking like it wants to sort of break down from this area now. This was a major zone. We were looking for a reaction from it. I've been looking for reactions from Dixie for a long time. We've not really seemed to be getting any, and this is an area where you'd expect to get something from it, but dollar continues to look pretty bearish, and you lose this area, you do sail down a fair whack, by another dollar, really, a fair old drop there. It will turn around at some point, but based on the daily, even on this last stage now, no bullish divergence on that daily, so I'm not really looking for anything special as of right this very moment in time. Also not got anything on the 4 hourly. We did this time round, which led to this little move up. Well, I'd say it's little. It's pretty decent for Dixie, but we don't have it this time round, so it still looks pretty bearish. That's what it looks like to me. So let's move over to what else should we view to get a bit of a handle on it. Well, the euro is basically the opposite of the Dixie, obviously. It's mostly the Dixie is the euro for the most part. And again, we're seeing no real signs of major weakness on this trend now as we're pushing up above the resistance. So we were looking, and we still, I suppose, should really look for a reaction, a negative reaction around here. But look, this trend surprisingly is getting from strength to strength. I'm surprised because the ECB more or less said that they think inflation's under control and that hikes are not, they're not going to bother with any more hiking, really. So that to me makes it feel as like, probably the dollar ought to really start to rally. And I suppose the euro especially should start to find a peak, and it probably still will, but it's a bit early to say right now. But it's not fully broken bullish. No, golden crosses. The itchy cloud is still a little further away from a close. We need to close above where we are right now to get that. So it's not a dead cert. We could easily get a rejection from here. And again, from a fundamental perspective, when you talk about the central bank wars, I think things will favour the dollar, but the euro bulls are still out and about. Right, S&P then. So I am looking for a pullback on S&P, just like I am for everything. I'm looking kind of for a reversal across the board anyway, so that includes Bitcoin and crypto. You know what I've been saying last week about the way that the weekly looks pretty toppy, the volume's extremely high, ready for, I suppose you call it, what do you want to call it? What's the nicest way to call it? A rug pull? A liquidity grab. you know, a consolidation, a downtrend, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it looks like it is ripe for that, but I'd still look for another nudge up higher just based on what the 4-hour and the daily appear to be. But S&P also giving those same kind of signals, really. So the money flow index over here peaking so far around just short of 97. On the daily, let's check the weekly, and the weekly's still got plenty of room to run, so the weekly is not overexposed at all, but consolidation or pullback on that 4-hour, on the daily is required. The 4-hour looks like it wants to have another nudge up. It does look like a bit of a rounded top over here, so maybe we come back down before we spring back up for another attempt higher. Yeah, I mean, Monday mornings are usually a time to make plans for the rest of the week, and so if I had to make any kind of calls, really, I would say let's focus on that dollar to see where we close today, or see what the end of the day looks like today, and then we could probably be a bit more efficient at making calls throughout the rest of the week. But if it wasn't for that dollar scenario and the euro scenario, I'd probably just be looking for a bit more downside on S&P and on Bitcoin, ever so slightly, really, to buy the dips from lower zones. Maybe we see 36,500 get tagged on Bitcoin, and we start buying those dips. I did buy some dips yesterday. I'll continue to buy some dips for the last move. Excuse me, for the last move up. Which, as far as I can say, we should target really just 42 to 43,000 for the next move up. But the top target would be towards and probably even at 47,000, really into the 48s. The momentum is building for a nice big move. We've broken out of consolidation of momentum. We've broken out of consolidation of volume. And, as far as this looks, it looks like a consolidation, an upwards facing consolidation, which normally ends up with a breakout, especially as we're pushing the major resistance every other day now. We're ready to break this. So whether we break out before we pull back, I don't know. It's up to you whether or not you decide to buy this dip. I did buy some dips, and I will continue to buy dips. But then I would also, be looking to exit those positions as we get to 43 and higher, because I am looking for a much longer consolidation, as you all know. Right, that's basically it. Just keep our eyes on the prize, obviously. When it comes to the broader markets, Forex often controls and dominates all markets anyway. So at the moment, the dollar continues to look bearish and behave bearish, so things do favour everything else. But the lower the dollar goes, the more likely it is to have a really decent bounce, and that could be all it takes to start to break these supports and turn uptrends into downtrends. But right now, I still believe very strongly, in fact, that it is a buy the dip market, and so we should just buy the dip, really. Say we, I mean me, you do what you want. Thanks for watching, guys. Maybe join me on the Patreon. I'll be doing a live stream tonight, as I do every Tuesdays and Fridays. Links in the description below. Take it easy.